Tensions are high along the Poland-Belarus border after two Belarusian helicopters entered Polish airspace. Poland's army has moved additional troops and combat helicopters close to the border, and there is increasing talk about the possibility of military incursion.
Residents in the Polish town of Belovezha near the Belarusian border have reported incidents of border violations by two Belarusian military helicopters. The Polish Defense Ministry has confirmed these accounts, informed NATO, and deployed additional troops to the border. Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, standing alongside the Lithuanian president, raised concerns about the movement of Russian Wagner forces in Belarus toward the Polish border.
On the Polish and Belarusian border, we have been experiencing hybrid attacks for 2 years. Russia and Belarus are raising pressure along the border with their provocations.
Poland has sent additional troops and military helicopters to the border to boost preparedness, says Defense Minister Mariusz Blaszczak.
To face the provocation from Belarus, because today we understand that Belarus now is a part of the Russian Empire, so the hybrid attacks on Poland are definitely coordinated with the Kremlin.
Belarus has denied airspace violations and accused Poland of making up the accusations to justify its troop buildup. On August 1st, Polish residents in Belovezha reported seeing two Belarusian helicopters flying at low altitudes. Mariusz Kurnita, who volunteers with a local mountain rescue group, Ochotnicze Pogotowie Humanitarne, questions why the government only confirmed multiple sightings after they began to appear on social media. Kurnita says his friend witnessed the helicopters.
She was walking her dog in the morning in Białowieża. They flew over her head and she took a picture of these helicopters that had stars, the Belarusian insignia. The government keeps saying that radars did not pick them up. But if we have such a powerful military as they say, thousands of military, police, border guards, it is strange they didn't notice the helicopters flying over their heads.
Poland also accuses Russia and Belarus of using migrants to destabilize Poland and other EU countries, calling it a form of hybrid warfare. In response, Poland has constructed a 186-kilometer, 5-meter-high steel fence topped with razor wire, cameras, thermal vision surveillance equipment, and sensors. Mariusz Kurnita says in the last 2 years he has helped many migrants who, he says, were sent to cross the border illegally.
Belarus is bringing them here and automatically deceives them because they don't have a way to go back. Some of them are beaten, some are forced. On August 3rd, we had 13 Afghans who called for help. 2 of them were injured, and some had visible signs of physical abuse.
Polish officials now caution that Wagner mercenary fighters may be disguising themselves as Belarusian border guards to help migrants cross illegally and posing as migrants to enter NATO countries. The Belarusian government has denied provoking a border crisis, but has said its troops have helped migrants cross the border into Poland. Miroslava Gongadze, VOA News, Belovezha, Poland.
A film taken during the Russian war on Ukraine was recently screened before the U.S. Congress. It tells the story of 2 Ukrainian teens who were forcibly transferred to a Russian-occupied territory.
Nastya Mitrofanova and Masha Sinchuk are taking an evening stroll through Washington. Some 7 months ago, the Ukrainian teens were detained in prison-like conditions in Khmelnytskyi city in the Kherson region, which was then occupied by Russian forces.
We thought we'd be in yet another basement, not knowing what was to follow.
The 2 girls are the subjects of the documentary film Escape from Russians, produced by the investigative journalism agency Следство.info. In late July, the film was presented to the U.S. Congress in Washington. The movie tells the story of the teens' 11 months in Russian custody. They were first forcibly taken to occupied Crimea, where they were held at a vocational institution, and, Sinchuk says, threatened for their pro-Ukrainian beliefs.
They summoned military police and threatened to sew our mouths shut with black thread if we voiced any support for Ukraine.
Thanks to volunteers and the investigation conducted by Slidstva.info, they managed to flee captivity and return to Ukraine.
We're coming, Ukraine!
The numbers vary, but Ukrainian officials say at least 16,000 Ukrainian children have been forcibly detained in Russia. Journalist Yulia Khimerik, who worked on the film, says international help is needed to bring them back to Ukraine.
When the system starts working, the Russians change it. That's why we didn't show details of the girls' rescue. We need help from volunteers and organizations that can do it instead of Ukrainians, because Russia doesn't work with Ukrainians.
The American politicians who attended the screening were moved by the girls' bravery and promised to help.
We'll be working with sanctions on the oligarchs, on the people who could be responsible for whatever is occurring. We will have every effort made to support international organizations, the Red Cross, others that can try to liberate the children.
Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur insists Russian authorities should be held responsible. But to do that, crimes must be documented, as they are in this film.
That a tribunal be established, and I think that it will be ultimately, probably at The Hague, in order to bring Russia to justice. And the names of children, the names of young people who have been abducted, who've been taken from their parents, in situations where parents have been killed, but then children were taken by Russia.
Before their abduction, the teens were studying to become chefs in Kherson. Today, they are telling their story to lawmakers in Washington, hoping to help other Ukrainians who are going through a similar ordeal. For Andrei Boris in Washington, Anna Rice, VOA News.
Welcome to English in a Minute. A sticker is a piece of paper that attaches to a surface. Stickers can be used to show the cost of a product. But what does sticker shock mean?
So Dan, have you gotten that new bicycle yet?
Well, I went to the bike store, but I left with some serious sticker shock.
I just had sticker shock too, in my favorite sticker store. Since when does a book of stickers cost $20? Crazy.
Sticker shock is used to describe the surprise and disappointment someone feels when they find out how much something costs. In these times of high inflation, many people probably experience sticker shock.
The Voice of America, VOA.
That is it for MLINE Top 3 updates powered by VOA Voice of America. Until next time, of course. And before of that, I would like to remind you once again to visit my Instagram account at mirzawardana. Check on the profile, click on the link there, or check the Insta story for shopping recommendation that being presented over there. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
I could escape and recreate a place as my own world. And I could be your favorite girl, forever perfectly together. Now tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? If I could be sweet. Sorry, but I know I've been a real bad girl. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. So whether we can make it better. Now tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? Sweet escape, sweet escape.